Okay, Peter.
I'm calling Sarah McLachlan right now.
Right this instant.
Well, what's going on, everybody? It is a OTBH Special Reacts. Bringing it back to you for the 99 and 2000s. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Juvenile Live. Back the thing up. I'm Chris. Alongside me, as always, we have Zach, Will, and Sid. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing good?
I'm tired.
Yes, man. This man's traveling the world right now, man. It's what happens when you're commander-in-chief.
Commander-in-chief elect.
Yes. Elect. But we are here.
That post first show day of the season hangover was real.
Boy.
Y'all woke up at like 8:30 and then I about fell asleep again at like 9. It was bad. It was bad. But we are here.
The top of my head got burnt yesterday.
Yes, it did. It was bad. I even told you. Watch yourself.
You did.
And you didn't.
It was too late.
Oh, also, I was told, Chris, that we need to get a lighter shade of blue on you. The shade of blue that you were wearing was just not becoming of you. I was told this.
Was not the lighter. How much lighter can I get?
I don't know. I just heard it wasn't a good shade for you. That's what I heard.
Dang.
I don't know. That's what I was just been told.
I mean, I did have a lot of people come up to me and said I was wearing the wrong shade of blue. So, I mean, that's here and there, and I want to get in that. So, we are going to be. We're going to be doing a reacts. We're going to change it up on this one, and we're going to change some different things as you're seeing these pop up, and we're going to do one from this past year, and we're going to do Phantom Regiment's 2023 show, Exogenesis, which I think for all of us was a welcome addition this year and was something that we all really enjoyed from Phantom. And I know early on in the year I was hoping that they could do some things and had some wild thoughts, but yeah. So does anyone want to give like the what the show is about and kind of break that down? What that is?
Well,
it says the esoteric one, so why don't you?
I'm the esoteric one.
Yes, go for it.
Well, that's the thing. I thought it was about like the form, like the finding of like a new world or the new civilization or something like that. But then like when I kept hearing other stuff, nobody was even saying it like that. So
on their official YouTube page, which is where we're going to be watching this, so we'll link it in our description as well if you want to watch it without us yammering on top of it. But it's, they start in space and it's empty and all this kind of stuff, and they start to bring things together, right? So like nature and all this kind of stuff, and so I think it says on the right track when it comes to that mindset there. But yeah. Let's get into it. We're going to start on the 000s. I'll give a countdown. We'll hit play, and then we'll go for it. Y'all ready?
Sure.
All right, here we go. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Drum Major Kerry McCork, is your corps ready?
They're always ready. I'm sorry.
Get out.
In the podcast.
And that was your episode.
Well, we're not going to do.
Performing their 2023 program, Exogenesis.
I'm just kidding.
From Corps International is proud to present.
We were there. We just weren't there. You better get that. You better get that.
Me and Zach at Murfreesboro were yelling at it, and all of our kids looked at us like, what are you talking about right now? I would say I loved the framing of this field, man. I thought it was a really cool touch that they had to this.
Yeah, they set the stage real nice. I know a lot of people talk. The tarps really set it off when they started using it.
Love the soundscape.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a fan of the capes. I know some people hated it, but I'm here for the capes.
I was about to say,
Now the hat
when
on the hats on the other hand.
we first saw the drawing, we
No
were
go.
kind of all like about it, but
I heard more complaints about the hat than I did the cape.
I'm about to say, I hadn't heard anything about the capes. The hats could have gone for me, but I dug the
You know
uniform.
how people are.
that was probably a nod to traditionalists trying to have a hat. Yes.
You clipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, it's nasty anyway, so.
That move right there.
Yeah, so
That was the move this year, I guess. Glucose have something similar to that too.
they do, but
It's not as
that worked for Phantom. Well, I mean, it worked for Blue too, but like for Phantom, that was just like the perfect thing.
Dude, just his first movement alone is just.
the whole front half of the show just goes, and then the tail end just kind of.
Percussion was solid for him this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say, we're talking about uniform stuff. I still think their guard uniforms this year, I just love it because it's just a completely different palette than what's on the field.
You know, as I listened to this, we were trying to figure out, why they fail. And I think one of the things is I don't think the content was there as much as some of those other groups.
Yeah, it's not very technical, as you can see from like those top 4.
I feel like, I know that there were things that they tweaked and changed, but like from a music standpoint, this front half of the show was solid from the very beginning. Like they came out the gate hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like Phantom is kind of. I feel like it's like a syndrome of theirs, so they come out hot and kind of plateau sometimes. Or everybody just catches up because I don't know. But,
Well, there's a couple of years where they didn't go on hot. They just came out.
Phantasm. Can we just? That's.
they fixed that issue, I think.
Just very reliable percussion section.
All of it.
They don't take a lot of risk, but
They didn't want to. It doesn't stick out, but it's just solid. and it's written so well for the horn line. That's kind
It's
of deal.
complimentary. That's what I was about to say.
Complimentary to the core.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
It's like they were like, okay, here's our wheelhouse. We're
I
gonna
do.
stay in it. We're gonna push it a little bit here and there, but we're not gonna like overshoot it or overstep our boundaries. We're not gonna do a disservice to these kids by giving them something that's too easy either.
Yeah.
I do wish they kind of went all out for that moment, though.
This part was so cool.
Yeah. Just great drill writing, stage setup design.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, when they first came out, they didn't have those tarts, so you had this part, but you didn't know what was really happening. The tart kind of brings it all together.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about a baritone and a mellow together that's just, I don't know, it just sounds so good to me, dude. So Zach and I were talking about this the other day, or during the season. Did they change their marching style this year? Or have they done that the last couple of years?
I've never really paid too much attention.
We got the old Cabby's leg pop, or Vanguard leg pop, yeah.
Yeah, like the kind of a bicycle deck deal going on. I don't think I even really noticed it until we were in Murfreesboro and saw it live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got a lot cleaner from Murfreesboro to Murfreesboro. They're still kind of loose.
Guard was solid this year too. I mean,
it was a good year for drum corps. Just ran across some bus off. See, Blue Devils would have did that 5 times in 6 different keys.
Crown would have done it on the move.
I've never heard that contra intro.
I always felt like this moment was going to turn into the Chevron, and it never did.
on that speaker.
They might have should have ended the show there.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because that was such a moment.
Or like, let this be the outro.
Yeah. But then just.
I think what we talked about during the season, they wanted to end around that, and I feel like they had to get there, so they had to do something.
You have to.
Emotion.
Go ahead. Go ahead and cry me. It's all right.
Let it out. Just let it out.
Let it out.
Under the
I
direction
don't
of
have to write
20
that bus ever
for the
again.
boy, Phantom
In a
Regiment.
sense, you kind of have to end like that.
Contra's like, I'm stuck. I can't move.
I literally cannot stand up right now.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I don't know whose idea this was, but
Just like leg cramp city.
Somebody
Just can't
help
do
me.
anything.
yeah. But yeah, it was a good show. Maybe the ballot was a little too, I don't want to say simple, but pedestrian.
I don't know. I don't think it was. I don't think it was any of the music, unless I'm just still not understanding it. I don't get exogenesis out of none of this.
Well,
Like you say, it comes from the space to a new planet or whatever it is. Like
Yes.
that's not coming across probably the way I guess I feel like it should.
Well, okay, so if you think about the way they started with all their props, like in smaller, like pod-looking things,
Yeah.
and they were all inside them, and they busted out, and then by the end, they were around the pit, which is maybe the new planet. So they started in other places, and now they've, I don't know, I'm just pulling something out of my butt.
I mean, but that makes sense. But at the
kinda
same time, like if
sounds
that was
might
it,
be right.
yeah, because it makes sense. If that was it, you wonder how many people thought that through the year. If you don't read
Member
up,
of the Phantom Regiment design team this past summer, could you please email us?
Well, I think they put something out early season before the season started.
They did. Yeah.
Because they're talking
it's
about
like-
the music selection. Because this is not typical stuff that you hear from Phantom.
no,
But
because
go ahead.
if you're going to extraordinary lengths to explain your show, I feel like something's missing there.
Yeah.
And maybe why you might struggle a little bit through the season. I'm not saying like they were like crazy, ridiculously clean either, and probably content did hurt them. Maybe there's just a lot of parts that just wasn't hard enough or challenging enough. But I am, kind of speaking like just in general playing. I mean, hell, it got them there, and it kept what's the names and them fighting over them. It was like, who was it? Them three, basically all
These
season,
Manders and cadets.
yes, and like back and forth. So clearly, something was working.
I think cadets outplayed them, outperformed them, I should say, and I think Mandarins out GE'd them. Like I think Mandarin show was just more effective.
That makes sense.
And Phantom just couldn't. They might have boxed themselves in with the show, maybe a little bit. I mean, so the longer I do this, the more I understand how much the vehicle that is given to the Corps or who the performing group can control. What's really going on. I don't know, man. It's because it started out so hot, but cadets were dirty early, and Mandarins was like the group that looked like they were going to finish 5th or 6th,
Because it's one of those old fables. It's like how we used to talk about BD and them. It's like, look how hard SCV had to work to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Look how hard they had to come out early to stay ahead of them. And then if you see what I'm saying, and it's like maybe Phantom somewhere along the lines, some groups are just like, we got to do this or else we're in trouble. Yeah. Or we're going to be fighting or this, that, and the other. And then, you do box yourself in like that because then the other corps who don't do that or any other groups in any other activity leave room for that improvement. And then they can get topped that way. Because cadets, cadets battery showed up. If you didn't notice it, how can Phantom outline the entire front and then they get 0 camera time? I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. And they barely got it when the core goes around them. Because I'm like, I don't want to always resort to Blue Coats, but hell, Blue Coats gets full camera time on their ballot. And that's an amazing section. And I'm sitting up here looking, they had their little, Phantom has their little spot where I think it's baritones or mellows or something. And I'm listening in my headphones. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, do we not hear this front book right now? So I'm like, this whole section in this whole ballad, not one camera angle went to the front. So I was like, maybe there's too much play it safe. Maybe they felt like, okay, we got a young group coming in. I don't know. This seems like a laundry list of stuff.
That's what I was going to think. Maybe that, last year they had a really, I think, breakout performance at finals. But I don't know if maybe they thought they weren't ready for like the next step. So maybe they were just doing what they were always going to do. And because I think everything is safe with that show, and there's nothing bad with safe, right? It's still a great show, but like the brass book is not, just over top amazing. The perk book is not over top, amazing. Visually, they're solid, but they're not like doing anything out of the ordinary that you have there. But like all that stuff together gets you the placement that they are, right? They don't suck, but they're not like your top 4 that you have. So you're going to get that middle. So maybe next year they might try to take that next little push and see what they can do there. I'm kind of with you though. I think they kind of maybe were testing the waters a little bit, and maybe they didn't know how much they had until they were, but you can rewrite and stuff. But
I don't know. I think they came out. Here's the thing. If this was last year, that show would have been probably top 5.
Top 5.
Probably.
I put it top 5 because think about it, because BD wasn't drumming. I ain't saying that they weren't drumming or whatever, but they weren't drumming like they normally was. So that book could have been solid enough to keep them in that top 5 spot. Because I don't even remember. I think Phantom took
their 8th,
like 10th,
8th or 9th. I thought
somewhere in drums. So,
you're talking about drums. Sorry, I thought you were talking about overall.
Yeah, no drum.
But because that's what you're gonna have to have if you're trying to. Honestly, if you're trying to be top 5, you got to have a top 5 drum line, a top 5 brass, and a top 5 guard.
Everything's got to be up there.
Everything's got to be up there.
It's rough.
I don't know if cadets was 5th, but I don't know how many captures they finished in the top 5 in. Maybe perk.
I think brass too. They did. I think brass and perk they were 5th.
Because there were some years back, it's just like Cabby's winning drums this year. There were some years back, cadets battery was just so far ahead.
Cadets was 5th, but that's probably should have said Manders. But yeah, so it's sometimes you just pick the wrong show in the wrong year. And I'm not saying they picked the wrong show. Like the show was good, just everybody else was good.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably my favorite show of the year. Them and Blue Coats probably my favorite shows of the year for me. I just think the first half of that Phantom show, man, it's in your face and just I mean, you can feel the energy in it and all that. I just wish the back half could have lived up to that first part because, I mean, they came out cooking and
Pacing is a thing, man.
yeah.
Pacing's a thing, and just trying to figure out when's the best time to do stuff. And
Yeah, the third part, just the last third of that show just feels really disjointed. Like we're just trying to get to some points here and there. So I think that's what kind of bit them in the butt at the end. And Cadets just being solid all the way through there. But I still love the show. It was a great show.
oh, that was a good show
So
for sure. I just spent today, or watching it, just thinking, okay, why did they fall? Because at the beginning of the season, like they're fifth. This is a fifth place show. It's gonna be fifth. And then Mandarin and Cadets were like, not so fast, my friend.
I thought they beat Mandarins in finals.
No.
No,
No? Okay. All right.
no, they fell because Mandarins came out and was like, whoop, that's fifth. And then Cadets came out and was like, whoop, never mind. Because I heard way more stuff there live than I had ever heard from Cadets. It's like, yeah, this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
This is the real deal. But like you said, I still enjoyed Phantom. It was a really, really good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Really good year for them.
Yep.
Like, just to be in the room where it happened with them, like, they should not feel any shame in what they produced.
Not at all.
Whatsoever.
Cool.
Whatsoever.
Anyone else got anything to say for this show? No? Well, awesome. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that reaction. A little bit different. We haven't done a more recent show before, so it's kind of fun to kind of look back at, how recent it was there. But if there's anything you want to see, any show, it can be anything, right? It can be DCI, it can be BOA, it can be WGI. You want to send us your high school's circuit performance, and we have a chance. We might, we'll do something. I don't know. But let us know in the comments what you think about this show and other things you want to see us do. We got other cool videos. We got perk talks that are going. We have our main episodes of On the Back Hash. They're on our YouTube channel as well. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all On the Back Hash. And like I said, YouTube as well. And for our main show, On the Back Hash, you can find us on Spotify. So catch us all in those places. Let us know what you think and say what's up. We'll say what's up back to you guys. So for Chris, this is myself. So for Zach, Will, and Sid, sorry, I am Chris. This has been another On the Back Hash Reacts, and we will see you all next time. Peace.